like, I'm over here thinking about how, like, introspective all this shit is for real. Like, or whatever word y'all want to use. And then some of my thoughts that be happening as I'm like skipping down. Like, I don't know. It is crazy because something be on in me like don't like it be like I be telling myself like stop recording. Like I be feeling like I'm hearing a message of like stop recording. Like I might be making some shit really worse than what it already is. And I'm like, no, because what is that? I might not even want it. Like, if that's how it's perceived, like, all right, that can be cool over there. I don't necessarily gotta have nothing to do with that. If that's, if, oh well, like, at this point, all this shit is a gamble. Like, if that's just the perspective somebody can take about whatever, like, needing me to shut up for, like, them, or if it's I'm embarrassing them for me, or whatever it could be outside of, like, hey, he's something that's, like, dope as fuck, like, I don't really need it anyway. So I'ma just keep following my instinct and getting on here and just like whatever it is, cause these numbers ain't changing and my bank account ain't changing. Like, and it just be like different types of perspectives that be coming through me and shit. And I'm just like, why is that even making me feel that way? Like somebody messaging me telling me that like, all right, I done did enough, or like not to keep going. And then I'm just like, why the fuck not? Because like I stopped doing stuff a long time ago, or I kept going, and like it ain't really got nothing to do with you. And like, okay, no, I'm gonna keep going. And then like as a social worker, but like, are y'all even social workers? Or like if you in caregiving or you take care of anybody at any point in time, then like do you think it's a good idea to call them to tell them that like whatever you saw on their page has you calling them to tell them to they needed to like stop playing victim or move along or like do something? And I'm just like, wait, y'all niggas had a head start on me or something? Cause like, what? I was already doing all that back there. Like, what y'all thought I was doing back there? How could that shit have looked to y'all back there? Cause I was all of that. Like, all of that was real. All that sincerity and love and like that shit wasn't bothering me. And like, I don't know, forgiveness if that's what it was. Like, that shit was authentic as fuck, whatever it was for me to be operating with anybody on whatever level I was. And I just assumed that, like, it had to go both ways, whatever that was. Like, I'm like, no, that was a lot of love. That was a lot of, you know. And then right now, whatever happened, like, I don't care. Shit, a lot of that couldn't look all the way different. And for whatever reason, it's looking different right now. And whatever that looked like, I'm going to do this right here. Like, why I got to shut up at this point? Or why I got to be reminded of, I don't know, probably however you feel, but different because it's my life. Like, damn. There's a lot of stuff that's coming back in my memory, just deciding to pop back up. And I'm like, all right, I'm the one that got to deal with this shit and flow through it. And I guess you kind of like, yeah, you bringing up old shit for us too. And I'm like, all right, well then, whatever that means. Like, what could it mean? And in the middle of that, like, I'm still keep going, regardless of like what that could or will look like. Because regardless of what I said, there was some truth to it. However I presented it, whatever is happening. And to me, this shit is magical. And when I be reading shit from like social media, I'm like, I'm not the only one feeling like this. Okay. And since I ain't tapping into none of this other shit and I've been tapped into this already, it's like I'm having an awakening, or like just what they call it. Like we coming to the fact that like, hey, we do not want to do this shit that they've been doing, and we've been turning the tides and like flowing this way for a minute now. Like we've been getting exposed to some other things, and we looking around and we like, nope, not that. Like, not necessarily this. Like some of us been like, oh, I was all the way in that shit, and like I gotta get out of there. Like How you gonna be mad at me for dating white girls when I ain't never met no black woman that wanted me? Like what? How you gonna like? I went to school over here. I was exposed to stuff over there, and we ain't even over there. So like, yeah, I liked white women. Like why wouldn't I? That's what I knew. I knew my mama and whatever was around me. Like, and that shit was cool. It's a different perspective. Like, don't be mad at me. Show me a different perspective. Show me like what I need to be seeing differently over there. And if you take that journey, cause you like shit, I'm over there too. Like how I get all the way over here, like it's different over here. I'm from there, and then and then eventually, like I get caught up in the culture, and I'm like, hold up, like y'all got to keep me grounded, like, cause if I said I want to do this shit, that's gonna take me on a different journey, and I'm doing this for a reason. But oh, y'all gonna have to breathe some life in me, okay? Do not forget me over here, and it be feeling like people be forgetting you over there, like. Hey, I'm the one that's supposed to be holding this shit afloat. How you gonna not give me what I said I wanted? Like what that what? Why was it hurting somebody? Was y'all like who did y'all think I was to tell me that like hey, you ain't want to get me that for no reason? Like I don't care what none of y'all opinions is. Like do you not see that magic? You don't see what we doing over here? Like I said, that's the magic that I need. Like over here right now. Why would it be any interruption? Why would it be anything that's like standing in the way of me having her getting over there or getting her over here? Like, what? You don't see the difference when I speak to her, when my day is bright, when like she connecting with me, when I'm connecting with her. Like, you don't see the difference in my life. You don't. The tone I ain't loud enough when I'm like it's the changes are subtle. Like what it look like to you when I'm like, I spoke to this man today and like that shit really made me feel good. Like it brightened up my day. And when they not around, like I feel their absence. I feel that shit on whatever level. And I'm like, damn, y'all all gone around all the same time, all the time. No, I need something different. Like I need the world to like shine around me. And I know I got a lot of connections, but I'm like, that ain't even it. Like, no, I don't really have to take turns, do I? Like, why I gotta take turns and why that shit be coming? It be a long time before it come back around. Like, what? I need to be around some different people, and I don't even know how to get over there because I've been using like a lot of my resources to do a lot of stuff, and it feel like even without nothing else added to the equation, I can't get over here for whatever reason. Like, it's not lining up for me to stay nowhere else. And like it's my hometown, so I'm gonna make it work. Like I do love some things, just some feels that I get that I can't get from nowhere else. Like when I say that the wind tastes nostalgic to me, like y'all feel like y'all people know what that means. Like it's something in the breeze, like then, and it take me to like it set a mood for me every time. And I'm like, I need to be around somebody that like can talk back to me when I say shit like this, or to make sure that like I don't know, like what happens to the person that hear those words or receives it. I don't know what kind of picture it paint for them, or like what that mean when they say it, or like whatever. But I done felt like it was a man on the other side of that was feeling the same thing, and I couldn't get to him no matter what. Like, man, this shit was keeping us apart to me, and I'm like, what type of love could we be making? What's our problem? Because the shit that you say to me, ain't nobody said to me, like, you threw cone heads up to me? What? Like, and that shit was so dope to me, and we could use it so many ways. And I was just like sending his ass messages and finding the clips. Like, that shit was fun to me. I went on like a little treasure hunt. It was sending his words back to me, whatever that was, like whatever it was that he said when he meant it. Like it was like somebody else. Like I ain't heard nobody mention cone heads forever, and I went and got the shit, and I never thought about like what it could have been on his side for him to say that shit and for me to catch it like that, or like what he was thinking about, or like I ain't really think about the journey it took to get here for real. Like, but that was like kind of cool now that I'm thinking about it, like what his journey was. Like, if I was like a geek or like what I was to him, because I took that shit and I was like, yep, and whatever he said that I thought that it should apply to. So, whatever he meant by it, whether I even knew what he meant by it or not, like, hey, however that shit landed for me, it landed for me and it was kind of cool. And I'm like, all right, so essentially, like, hey, I gotta go watch the movie. I want to rewatch the movie too, like, and I had that thought, like, this would have been cool that we could have watched it across like Skype or something or whatever. Back then, I think we was on Skype. I think we was on Skype, and I was like, oh, it would have been cool that we would have like been able to watch this together on Skype. And then I actually found ways that we could have made it happen, but it just never worked out. Like, man, what? But I was like, Coneheads. And then I found the movie. Like, why wouldn't I? I liked Coneheads back in the day. And I was like, let me see. So I followed the storyline again. It was like, essentially, I'm like, okay, okay. Then I saw some stuff differently. And like, I tapped into the father daughter relationship probably differently than I did when I seen it back then. And the mother and father, like, I was trying to really keep up with the characters and shit. Like, and then I was like, all right. And then I would send them the cone heads. I found like the father and the mother and the mother and the father. I mean, like, I found different cone head scenes where they got together and I would send it to them based on what was going on, like the frequency. Like, here you go, here go your words. Cause like what? I think you might need to have a moment. Cause and I might need a moment because this shit is getting to me. Cause like, why are we still on the online connection and ain't linking up no matter what's happening? Like, why you keep telling me we gonna link up if we ain't doing it? What's taking so long? Don't say that shit to me. Like, and get me all excited for what? Mm-mm. Nope. Why we playing? I done gave you some solutions based off of who you was and who you said you was or what you was gonna be or what you be throwing at me. I be throwing that shit back at you, like, however it is. And sometimes I just sit there and I listen, cause like, okay, and what's happening? Like, why is that keeping me over here and you over there? You need an assistant or something? Like, you gonna have to pay me because I ain't your woman yet or none of that other shit. Like, nah, so you just gonna have to pay me. That's cool. You gonna be my assistant. Let me see would that equal out in time and like attention and everything else. Like, I need to see how you gonna incorporate that in my pay. Figure out how I can make it safe enough to make that change. But don't get me wrong, we on this connection. And I'm feeling good and I'm willing to gamble and take some chances. But let's not act like there's not a chance. Like, I'm coming over there for you and your people, and that mean it can mean anything. Y'all can essentially get me down there and do whatever the hell y'all want to do to me. Or think you can. And I'm gonna have to take whatever I know how to take based off of whatever. Simply because of culture and difference and So like mm-mm. You're gonna have to make sure I'm comfortable. And that's gonna mean like if I'm over here, you paying for my apartment or whatever. Okay, because you already know over here all my shit is taken care of. So I ain't gonna come down there with no like none of my money that I'm getting. All my money is gonna be mine. Essentially, I said on the I said on our connection, I was like, if I'm gonna come down to be your assistant, all my money is gonna be mine. Like I gotta figure out whatever, and then like whatever you paying me, I can do whatever I want with it. And then um what I think I was like, yeah, I can do whatever I want with it, whatever my money. And then if I choose to sleep in your bed or whatever, like we can figure that out. But I don't gotta be trapped, and you wouldn't want me to. You finding shit sexy. Like, okay, I don't even know if I thought of that about that, but if I did, like, so then what's your salary? And my ass, I'm like, for my personal time and assistance, nigga, I think I was close to like 800,000 like dollars or something like that, like whatever it was, cause like you might as well give me a meal a year. Like I was trying to calculate my prices, like, and this is just if I'm your assistant, and I mean I can like become your woman, and then it don't matter, cause like at some point now we can just merge it together, like, and it's cool. We got another property, or we done added some more properties, depending on what you trying to do, cause you like you want another woman. I'm like, all right, well, we ain't necessarily got to live together unless the house is big enough to have levels and like a kitchen, because like we need our own space, and I like to have my kitchen and whatever. Or we can even just buy property and just, everybody can get their shit, and we can just come together, and we can come together however that is. But yeah, I probably ain't sharing the bed with her. Not in no sexual manner. So if you was one of them type of polygamists that they ass is basically talking about on this internet. Mm-mm. If that's what you looking for, I ain't doing that. I'm gonna put all that out here. I don't care what nobody think. And I'm like, no, I'm for real. At all. I don't even know what I like, but I know it ain't that. And I wasn't never really worried about like if like my sex was bad to them or not. Like I didn't think about that from their side. I used to say what I wanted, and if it was like they didn't want to have sex with me either, that was cool. I couldn't tell because most of them like act like they wanted to. But whatever I was doing, I felt like I could do a whole lot better on both sides. And I tried to express what I wanted. I mean, as much as I could. Like, yeah, I came in telling y'all that whatever I did, I ain't do much. And I'm curious. And I might want to try some stuff. And hey, I don't really watch porn or nothing because, like, I ain't interested. I tried the toy thing. I ain't interested. Not in this type of way. Like, okay, what? I don't need that. I can get myself off if that's what it come down to. Like, but I want to do a whole lot more. And then some shit, I don't care what they try to sell to me. Like, nigga, I cannot thoroughly fuck myself the way and like activate all these different glands and nerves, and no, I can't do all that by myself. So I don't even be wanting to do that no more. I'm sick of myself. I've been doing the same shit. I've been ready for a whole lot of fun. Whatever that is. And I want the safety to figure it out without nobody's ego and restrictions either. Whatever that is. And nothing that can go bad because, like, somebody decided that something was supposed to be a secret, or somebody got something more than them, or like none of that. None of that shit that y'all be talking about. I don't want none of that. I want this to be a family business. We gonna capitalize off of all this shit, whatever we choose to do. Cause that shit need to be so liberating, so freeing, so damn powerful. that whatever it is, we gonna live our life how we want. Whatever it is. Our identity is whatever the fuck we gonna make it be. And we gonna get paid off of it one way or another, and we gonna try to be cool with everybody. Whatever that look like. That's the kind of shit that I'm over here thinking about that I need. Like when I think about shit, like, and I know already that mean I answered a whole lot of prayers that I put up out there about the man that I wanted, that I felt was owed to me, and that I owed to myself. The man that was originally created. Because whatever program they were putting into us, that shit was not working for us at all. It need to be dispelled. Whatever that is. Because we've been really considering a lot of people's feelings. While they do a whole lot of shit. We've been making it acceptable to some kind of degree or something. And like blaming the wrong ones or letting the right ones be wrong, whatever. Like, we kind of feel like we've been doing some of this shit exactly the way they wanted us to do it, to a T. And even when one of us did something that like it looked like we was trying to help or it was trying to do something different to help, they tried to bury him. They tried to like make us all fall in line, not knowing like, nigga, what? At some level, you gotta know that all this shit is done to support him. Who the fuck are y'all? Like, we standing behind him, whatever that is, and whatever shit y'all think that we throwing at him. Like, no, he gotta know better. He gotta know better. Cause you up there now. Now you got that side of the world of attention. Like, we still gotta keep these niggas up off of you, or like, but no, that shit is empowering. However it is, whatever we think we saying, like, we trying to get there. To where like you took that type of risk. So we see you. We see shit is different too, and like for whatever reason, we ain't right there. Whether we want to be or not. So like y'all men be talking to the men and us, wherever that is. And however we hear some of that shit as men, and whatever some of that shit is introduced to us as, like from women we might be checking out online, you gotta be like, what the fuck? Like what? And who they are and what is that saying, and like what that mean? Like, oh, you one of them type of women, huh? Like, and then you gotta be like, well, what does that mean? Because yes, I am. And what you gonna do about it? Like, boss up or move over. You see some of these memes, you be like, damn. And then you gotta repost it and see what people say about some shit. Like, and then with like some of the stuff people say about her shit or she say, you be like, what? Do she know who these people is? And she like, I don't care. Who are they? Like, who are you? And why can't I say it? And what was my perspective or anything? That's for you to figure out, I guess, because I knew what I said. I ain't bringing it back. Like, what? Y'all let the playing field out here, like, all right, you brought me over here, and I got my ass beat for asking questions back then. Well, who gonna beat my ass now? I'm asking the same question. And when somebody actually come beat my ass, like, oh, I'm gonna try to turn that shit around. She attacked me. Yep. I don't care what y'all got. I was highly emotional. And that shit felt like All that shit happened. She beat me up and she attacked me. She attacked me. She attacked me. I don't care if she beat me up. She shouldn't. You clearly been planning this shit for a long time. I just got here. Damn, bitch. Like, what kind of shit is that? The way that shit flipped for me was effortlessly because that shit was all the truth. I was just trying to put the puzzle pieces in the right place. Shit. I wasn't lying. None of it. Like, I know my words are so powerful. I want you to come down here so I can say this shit to you. Your mama can feel it. Mm-hmm. So y'all wanted to teach me a lesson to let me feel it. And I'm like, yeah, y'all still, it still took two of y'all. And you still took me by surprise and like all that shit. And you still snuck me and you still was a coward. Mama, if you feel like you did something good, okay. The fuck? Like, you been watching me. You see I got smaller. You see me, I be out here all calm and shit. Whatever you thought that was. You decided that I would be like, pray, okay. And then what? Like, what you stopping? And I'ma still say shit. And I'ma go through these people fucking system whether I want to or not. Just try to get your ass in trouble whether it happened or not. I don't know. But I don't feel like no point was proved. That shit don't even touch me for real. I just feel like it was just like, why you? Who the hell is you? Like, ugh. You had to come all the way back up here. Oh, you just more fucked up like I thought. You did your mom too. Okay. Everything I was saying, like, you just signed off on. And I'm like, this shit wasn't obvious to nobody. Like, do somebody feel like I would deserve this? And I guess if I'm out here talking and it bother y'all and y'all agree with her that they should have put me in the crazy house, and I'm like, because I'm talking. All right, Kanye. I felt that shit back then and all the way back then too. Like, they a bunch of cowards. Like, why can't they boss up? Who's scared of my words? Which ones? Are they powerful, huh? Mm-hmm. Why is it resonating? It's resonating so much that y'all going on like my readers pages and stuff or whatever they be talking about. Like, y'all be the ones causing problems. They ain't coming over there like looking for like y'all to accept the role. Y'all like come over there and they be feeling like y'all talking shit. And are y'all just like, no, we just being curious. Like, no, the tone that be for some of y'all be real judgmental. And then I guess for some of us it's like, is it like what's the tone you take him? Because initially I'm saying words on the screen written down. And you see they words from the paper to the screen. And however dynamic I can use to get it from the screen or whatever that's associated with. Like on the big screen, on the TV screen, like those are considered paid actors. They go through training and then like we gonna pay them. They get recognition and interviews and stuff like that. Like special incentives and bonuses, like, and collectively we decide, like, okay, that's who it is. Like, that's who I'm gonna give my attention to, put my money behind, for whatever reason. And then you gotta be like, what was it about me that like caught their attention? Because I be looking at other people around me like, hey, we can all do this shit. Like, why we letting them tell us that it gotta be for this shit? We can create our own shit and put us all in there. We ain't gotta fight. Like, we can all be lead and like what? Hey, okay, I'm over here. I'm gonna just work this shit out. However I do. Sometimes it be like I'm looking in the mirror, like, absolutely. She's right. Essentially, why we beefing? Why is any of us beefing? Why are any of us doing any of this shit? That's supposed to be called creativity when like we can just do it how we was doing it before in our communities, telling stories, touching on each other when we want to. Like, we don't even need a TV screen, do we? What is that doing? What's the benefit of that with our resources? Like, and if it take like some of your resources to connect us over here, but then it's like putting y'all in a bad situation. Like, do y'all really need our resources? Because we come over there with this Bible. Like, if it's giving it to us like this, and like y'all affected by it, however y'all affected by it, like, and this musician said some shit that was like, absolutely, like, what the hell? Y'all gave us the cross, and like, we looked around and we like, what? I ain't, y'all took that shit like sight, like okie doke, like what the hell? No, give it back. Like, how do we now get it back? What was the spell to reverse this shit? Like, that's what I feel like. I'm like, hey, Banner said that shit in a damn rap song, like, and I thought it was on the box. I'm like, no, I gotta be on before the box because I had before the box too. They was passing it out in like the CD. It was a mix, and then like I knew Mississippi. Like, everybody knew the Mississippi album. To me, like, it came on BET and all of that shit. Like, the South was running it through for a while, so I tapped on them there, and then a couple other places, and then like I tapped out for a minute, and then one of my girls was looking over that way, and I was like, oh, okay, tag, tap, 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 tag me in, because you clearly got somebody that you trying to have fun with. So I'm going to go ahead and, like, I thought about it because I'm over here looking at Tyrese, and I'm kind of be like, hey, he off limits to y'all, I guess, for real. I mean, if y'all can get him, because, like, I really don't know how, like, this shit is, like, I mean, it is a barrier. I be talking shit, but I'm like, I ain't really reached out and touched him or nothing. So if y'all can get him, like, y'all can get him. And I guess I'll just have to deal with that, whatever that is. Like, if I want to see y'all with him, like, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. And then, like, you just introduced me over here. Somebody go check this out too, and I really don't care. Like, that you said anything. Like, it was like, yep, and like you might would try to go over there just because, like, I did that and like whatever, because you done did this shit before, and like, and do I care? Probably do, but like, oh well, I'm doing it anyway. Like, sit this one out. Oh well, like, you done did a lot of shit. I get this one, tag out. And that's just kind of what it was for me. And I like kind of pursued David Banner a little bit in my mind. Like, I tapped into him, however that was. And then I wasn't tapped in for a long time. And then, like, or maybe I was, I don't know. And then Before the Box came out, and like um the God Box. But I feel like that came in reverse for me. Like I had the God Box, and then I got Before the Box, and then like, oh, that shit was dope. And then I seen him do an interview where he was saying like he did an album, sex, sex lies and video games, I think. And I was like, wait, what? I missed something somewhere. Hold on. And then I had to go back, and I was like, okay. And I was like, oh, that was the name of this album. Like, okay, I'm hip to some of this music. Like, damn. So then it brought that back up. And it was like Chris Brown and Busta and like, and then he said he do music for video games and other stuff. So I tried to follow his discography a little bit and like tap back in. And that's why I had loved that Tidal had got that feature where it was like you could follow the producers. I'm like, yeah, I'm following the beat. Like, it's something about the music. Like, the lyrics be good, but like, it's that beat that draw you in, and depending on where you at, like, come on, act like y'all don't know. Like, it's way too many times I'm like singing some shit, and I'm like, whoa, hell no, I don't like how that shit sounded at all. Blah, 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 blah. Take it back. Like, and then even if I like it, I gotta figure out how to like incorporate my own words to where whatever the fuck I think that they saying, that shit don't be like that. Cause I'm like, what you mean you ain't nothing without no man or him or no, you're like, no, I ain't saying that. Like, I'm a whole person. Fuck that. Like, it be certain shit that I be like, I am not doing that. And then, like, depending on what it is, because if I'm bringing them in, I gotta be, hey, so if you talking about that show, you know, I like to make sure I make that shit fit for me. That's my man. Man, that's not my woman. Like, you know, because music and them, they get in there. So when I get to singing, like, my girl, I gotta be like, no, I don't want that. Like, my man. So like, I love playing around with music. Like, we ain't about to play these games with me. Like, I understand that power of that tongue to some degree, and I'm like, oh. And then it's cool when like, sometimes when they cross references or when you got different things. Like Michael Eric Dyson had a segment on the radio at some point. I think he had like his own radio show, I think. And then like you have Carl Weber, he was doing like movies and TV and like all this stuff. Like, the pages of the books was coming to life on the screen. So that was always cool to see each one and even be able to listen to them on the radio and stuff like that. Like, I used to really enjoy listening to them speak. At some point, when it came to relationship stuff, like, I only tapped in for so as long as I was gonna tap in, because I'd be like, that shit is personal and it really can't be quantified the way that they be trying to quantify it. Like, it's all about energy and what you willing to do and what you want to do and how you gonna tap into somebody essentially. And like, if y'all are essentially going to decide to tap in as close to each other's frequency as you can, because some of us just out here on total different frequencies, but there is clearly like an attraction. Like, whatever is happening in your world, as much as I can see when we get together, like when we ain't together, like, I don't know, with only what I know. And then I be kind of like, I don't want to know what's back there if it's gonna be like, unless I need to know. Like, do I need to know it? Is it gonna cause drama to me? Is it like a welcoming party? Is we about to like, what we about to bring together? What is like we combining? Because I don't really want to get my heart broken. And it ain't that I'm scared or nothing, but like, what are you doing to connect the bridge? Because I already told you what I wanted to do. And like, you ain't did none of it. So I don't know what else to do about this part. Like, at this point, like, it's time to move on to something different. And I've been like looking and I'm waiting. I'm like, wait. Yeah, I've been trying to figure out where's my different at for a long time. Like, where the hell is my man? Because I knew all the way back then that I deserved, like, I know what I deserve. I'm like, where is he at? So I'm like, oh, I'm not ready yet. I gotta work too. Okay, I'm doing my work. Like I'm doing all my work over here. Like how much work I got left to do. Like how much work I got left to do over here. What I done missed out on. That like I'm still manufacturing my man. Like, and it's like cause you keep changing. Yeah, but he should have already been good up here. Like, why am I still climbing or what? Where is he at? Like, did he take a couple pit stops? Because at this point, if he stopped for other women, like, forget it. Give me somebody else that's ready for me already. Like, I don't, what? I ain't about to be sitting down here waiting for somebody else because somebody else got to take it. Then, like, somebody else was being able to exist in a space that I'm supposed to feel like I'm supposed to be in by now, and ain't even got no beef to nobody. Like, but no, at this point, like I've been waiting for some no, like no, bring in something new or bring like what is we doing? The fact that I'm here to this point, I be feeling like the fact that like whatever happened in the background, it felt like I needed to be here and like conscious that I'm single and awesome and like yeah, some stuff that I asked for back there and I was gonna shed a bunch of layers and all this other like whatever else that it was like okay like you might need to get rid of some old stuff. That's cool. Like, because you was asking for some stuff too. I was asking for some stuff too. So if this is my process, it's like, okay. But then I'm like, you can't tell me that like I was that far behind because ain't no way. So like I know I done did some magical stuff and did some more contributions or something. Like I wasn't even trying to be like actively contributing to anybody because I said I wasn't. Like I'ma do me. So like somebody trying to like what what is they trying to do because I'm like trying to prove a point like no how you gonna contribute. I said I was gonna contribute by being my magical ass self and then like I'm a transform sometimes so I don't you don't want me to be able to do nothing but do this right like that's cool. This all you want me to do is be able to exist and then that mean of course our kids gonna be able to exist and you gonna have to be man enough to fight whoever think they gonna ever come against the who the hell we gonna be with our kids and how they gonna be like what no this shit ain't no what you what you mean what my son gonna be able to do whatever he want like hell no ain't nobody gonna keep him from having nothing or my daughter like and my princess like what okay like why would my family not have access to anything in their land? Like this they treasure chest. You want to go over here and like, okay, that's our land too. What? Well, I don't know. Like that's what I need behind me and in front of me and on the side of me and everywhere. Cause like it's more fun when we get to have tea parties together and shit. Or like I don't know. Like let's make it an adventure. Let's not be having to be like what when my in my supernatural books, like leaders know how to take care of they fucking people, and then when they do some shit wrong, like you better believe the cavalry showing up. Like you might have been sneaky and got away with some shit for a minute, but then when they tap that shit, they whole bloodlines be deceased. Like we don't play this shit. That's why when I say when I used to read the Bible back then and some of them days, I used to be like, oh, that was cool because God don't play. Like this your posse over here, whatever y'all doing, whatever could be translated in what kind of way. You like, these my people. And so, hey, they said they wanted to be like me. All right, like that's what we gonna do. And however it is, like they wanted each other and then boom or whatever. Like who gonna do something and if somebody gotta die like that guy was like had his hand on whoever their hand was on whatever it was like and that's what you kind of had to say and created the environment for that shit to happen and I guess sometimes they had to pay the piper and sacrifice some shit like he said it was reciprocal. I got you what you want but you gotta give me what I want and for whatever reason like I want your kid. let you get away with it because of who you was. So now I gotta figure out if you took advantage of like your position with me to go over there and get one of my damn soldiers killed because like you wanted this woman or you wanted to cover your shit. Like, so that's how you was gonna use my name and my likeness and like what? You don't get the you gonna take this loss, homeboy. And I might have to figure out how to burn this connection. Like now I gotta do some investigating on both sides of the fence. Or what kind of mission we on right here? The fact that I even said that back there, I forgot about that. What that could have meant for anybody or anything. Like we in a spiritual war. I done woke up some giants with my accusations or my perspectives and whatever. I guess somehow I decided I was calling everybody to the table and they can help figure some shit out. Because it's not like, what was happening back there? What kind of meetings was y'all having? What kind of like rituals was y'all doing? What was y'all being tapped into? What was y'all like? What was this? Cause I done got some information. I done went through some trials and tribulations myself, and get like, yep, I done had time to read, cross reference, dig a little deep, construction stuff, reconstruction stuff, deconstruction stuff, like all kind of stuff. And I'm like, oh, y'all need to be talked to. Y'all got some questions to answer. Because I said back then that Father Abraham sounded a little sketchy to me. Like, what? And so culturally, you might have made her the other woman. And depending on the culture, she might not have wanted nothing to do with you. Could be multiple perspectives. You might not know whatever it was that she had going on. Y'all wanted to stop her blessings, her gifts. So like y'all peeped her out and she helped you. Mm. And then when she had her baby, no matter what happened, she was gonna have to go. She decided that. And she decided that she was going to try to kill her or what? Uplift her? Help her? Save her? From the life that she had to live anyway. Like, what was that supposed to be? And I haven't read some of the other books. Like I do want to get into the lost books and stuff. It's a lot of perspective happening. And I'm just like, hey, this will be so much more fun with other people around. And I might need to get a lot of this shit off just so we can have like some starters and stuff to work with. Like, because once I get out of this element, I'm gonna be in a whole total different element. So like my flow gonna be totally different. So we might be trying to get as much of shit done, as many conversation starters as we can while this shit is gold. That's how that shit be feeling like. Okay, this is where we gonna be at. We gonna figure out how to get everything that we need to be and do whatever and do that. Like, yeah, how we get there over here? What's the best way we can do this? And like, should we even really have to like give a fuck? Like, why? You right. Why I gotta be secret about anything? Why I can't just have multiple wives or whatever? And why I gotta be tapped into anything to tell me how I can live my life as a man or a woman? Especially when it comes like to sex or sexuality or women, right? Or feeling like or